Welcome to Journeys of Impact. Extraordinary people, extraordinary places, extraordinary change. This isn't just a show, it's a movement in motion. Join Lori as she travels beyond the expected to meet the changemakers, dreamers, and doers who are transforming communities around the world and right in their own backyards. From powerful conversations to unforgettable adventures, every episode is packed with heart, humor, and moments that stay with you long after the journey ends. This is where travel meets purpose, where storytelling sparks action, and where creativity turns ideas into real impact. Through candid interviews, immersive local experiences, and playful challenges, Journeys of Impact brings you closer to the people and places proving that change doesn't have to be loud, it just has to be real. You'll laugh, you'll reflect, you'll be inspired to see the world and your role in it differently. Because extraordinary change starts with one bold idea, one courageous step, and one ripple that grows into something bigger than we ever imagined. Welcome, your host, Lori McDowell.
Hi, everyone. It's Lori here. And this episode of the show, we're talking all about the Soulful Leadership Retreat. I attended the Soulful Leadership Retreat back in early February in Orlando, and I took a lot of footage at the event. I have some other interviews I did there. I was hoping to interview the founders, Mark and Renee Porteous, and we didn't get a chance. They were very busy. I was busy. So much was going on. So we're going to interview after the fact, but we're still going to talk about Soulful Leadership Retreat, how the idea came from, how it's grown, and how it's changed over the year. So Mark, Renee, please just introduce yourselves and share anything you'd like about yourselves, just for the audience so they know a little bit about who you are.
You want to start?
Well, first, actually, I want to start by just saying thank you. This is such a cool idea. And I know that we missed the boat on being there live at the event. We'll make sure to time it better. We'll make space, and if people get invited, I encourage them to do that. Make some space at your event because I think it's really cool that while you're out and you travel so much, have these experiences to be able to catch it live. And so thanks for being able to follow up with us today.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad we could get it in.
Absolutely. And I'll start by saying that our very first event was in 2020. And in 2019, I had a whole new brand. Our brand was the Inspired Messengers Network. I had a mastermind of coaches, authors, speakers called the Inspired Messengers Mastermind. Renee back then was called the Wizard Behind the Curtain, and she was just helping make everything work. I had my soulful advisors fly into Orlando. It was Alan Davidson, Rhonda Renee, Lisa the Witter, and Lars Gustafsson. And we rented an Airbnb, and we had a little mastermind retreat. Mm-hmm. And from there, we're like, imagine if we did this, but with like 25 people. And we had the same kind of a energy. And so we planned an event. And at the time, I used to outsource my intuition. And so I allowed everybody else to pick the date of 2/2/2020. And so that twos. And it all worked out well. The spot was available we planned this in October, or the beginning of November, actually. And we planned it for February. And I was surprised that it was available, but didn't want to look at gift horse and mouse. And so we put down a deposit and then realized it was on the Super Bowl weekend.
Oh, that's the availability.
That was what we wanted to book. And so our first one was accidentally on Super Bowl weekend. We had a big, huge Super Soul party after some people that did go to it. But instead of having the 25 people, we ended up having 70 people.
Oh, wow. So you had 70 at the first event. That's amazing. So,
yeah.
Especially on Super Bowl. So.
Exactly. And there were some big fans, but mostly it was, that wasn't the big sport audience, but it's still the Super Bowl. So people love to have a party afterwards. Fortunately, we were done before the party.
Right. Yeah. It's funny. I'm a big Texans fan. I live in Houston, and they were looking very good at the playoffs this year. And I kind of and I always said, I'm good. The Super Bowl's on my bucket list. And I was like, all right, if the Texans make it, somehow I'm going to go and get a ticket. And I knew I was going to Orlando, and I'm kind of like, God, well, I really want them to make it, but I really don't want to have to change my flights and try to do all that. So it worked out well. And next year, well, we'll see. So
Speaking of next year, So we had a crazy twist, and you being a retreat leader yourself, you know how things happen and change. We just announced a change today, which again goes back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Yes. So we thought that we were all set, right? You know, I announced it from the stage. Hey, we have our dates for 2027. We can't wait to see you again. And then as we're finalizing the contract, we thought we were good to go. They say, oh, we thought you were the weekend before. And we're like, no, we always correlate with the Super Bowl. We've been doing this. This is going to be year number 8.
Super Bowl's always been the first weekend in February.
Right.
This upcoming year in 2027, it's on Valentine's Day. So now it's Valentine's Day and the Super Bowl, and they weren't available. And so, you know, we spent some time stressing, obviously, and looking for a new venue. You know, we've been here for how many years now? Is this going to be year 4? I think that we've been at Reunion.
Mm-hmm.
And it just fits the culture. It fits our community. It works really well. So we're like, oh, how are we going to find something to replace it? We did not. But
there are lots of options. We live in Orlando, so there's lots.
Right,
but
a
it's
lot of stuff.
Convention feel, you know,
yes.
it's not the same thing.
Yeah. So fortunately, they had this spot the weekend after. So we just moved it to February 18th and 20th. So if the Texans go to the Super Bowl next year, you'll be set.
I'll be fine. I can come afterwards. Well, good. Well, then that means go Texans. So it'd be ideal if the Super Bowl were in Florida. I don't know where it is next year, but that would be great.
I'll find out.
No, well, good. So Renee, you, Mark had mentioned you were behind the curtain. So
Yes.
You've changed your role a little bit as the event progressed. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So, you know, before we started having these events, I was working with Mark and supporting what was his business at the time, because I kind of had my own thing, and I still have my own thing, but I was, you know, just basically my work is supporting transformational leaders, and I do it all and did it all behind the curtain. But as I was getting more involved with the Soulful Leadership Retreat, the first year I didn't even step on the stage. The second and third year, because the world shut down, we were virtual for a couple years. So I kind of stepped in a little bit, but still was kind of behind the curtain. And then when we started, you know, having them live and in person again, I stepped out. I wanted to really step into that leadership role. And each year I've expanded that. You know, the first year we had it at Reunion, I didn't even have a team. I did the registration myself. And yeah, so, you know, now we have this team so that I can really show up and be present and, you know, lead the room and enjoy myself and not behind the curtain.
And you did joke this year about the very first year, 2020, our kids were 10 and Eden was on stage, but Renee never got on stage.
That's funny. Eden was there at 10 even, so.
I think she was actually 8, wasn't she?
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, she gets on the stage and mom's like, I'm good in the back of the room, you know, taking people in, making sure everyone has the right lunch. And it's just evolved. It was a natural progression. And it was also something Mark had really hoped for, but he never pushed it on me to be like, okay, let's get you out there in front with me. So here we are going on year number 8. And I love co-facilitating the retreat. Well, now it's not really the retreat because we're moved away from that.
New name too. So a new week and a new name.
Yeah. So lots of changes there, right?
Mm-hmm. So, okay. So it's been 8 years. Tell me how it's changed over that time. I've been at the last 2 and I've seen some subtle changes from last year to this year, but I'm sure over 8 years, it's changed in a lot of ways, I'm guessing.
It's funny to look at like old pictures. And I'm sure you've done the same thing. Like you look back at any point in your time, you're like, oh, look at that. Look what I got away with.
Mm-hmm.
The backdrop, you know, we just had a step and repeat on a plain stage with a podium. And yeah, we had gone through a lot to like learn how to host a retreat, but we didn't really have a team, like Renee said, and we weren't taking care of the details. We just kind of put it together. We're expecting 25. It grew from there. But it was built on basically the branding that my coach and mentor, who became our coach and mentor, Alan Davidson, when he called me the soul connector, saying that I connect people to who they are at soul level, I connect them to their soul purpose, and then I connect them to their soul tribe. And so that was really what the first Soulful Leadership was built on. Day 1 was about connecting to who you are. Day 2 is connecting to why you're here. And day 3 is connecting to the people that can help you thrive in your purpose.
Mm. Okay.
And it was still around that framework. Again, we were online for 2 years. Then we came back in 2023. We tried hybrid.
Yes. But then that was a split energy because people still ask us to this day, because there are still people who it's too much for them to travel. But doing the hybrid, it really kind of split the energy of the room. So we made the choice to not do that moving forward. And it is a live in-person event. And, the first couple years, it was all Mark outreaching, spending, getting his colleagues, hey, I just want to tell you about this, and doing all the personal invite. But it's grown in the capacity where now, we went from that 70, which we'd never expected, to we've had between 150 to 175. So, yeah.
I think it seems like people come back a lot. It seems like about half the people or so come back, or maybe skip a year and come back, but there's a lot of return. But it seems like there's new people too every year that, come. And so I'd imagine if they have a great time, they're going to come back again. And so I can definitely see it growing. But at some point, I think you still want to get that connection with people. And I know I've been to events with like 400, 500, thousands of people, and you lose the connection. So I guess there's probably a maximum where, I know you change the name so it's not a retreat anymore. But it's
right. But we do have that max with being at Reunion. We can only the capacity is like 200, which is great because we know it's always going to have some intimacy. Yeah.
And that's a big part of why we wanted to have it at Reunion, was because people are sharing suites and villas, and a lot of times people don't want anybody going back to the room. They're like, but it's the space between. It's the lunches and the dinners and the breakfasts and the camaraderie and the different little sub events. That's what kind of makes it special. And so we wanted to make sure to keep that feel and not go back to the convention feel. But at the same time, it wasn't a retreat where you lead retreats and all the retreat leaders there are like, you can call it whatever you want.
Right. But there's no, there's no time. It would need an extra 2 days to become a retreat, because you'd have to leave all that integration, that space time. But although I think it's great, it is just change the name, because then people can have smaller retreats. So I love it.
And the space was part of the change, though. And that was one of the things that Renee wanted to integrate. And the change came from our mastermind that Renee and I lead, the MetaMind. She had a love seat. And that's kind of where a lot of the ideas came from around what you were talking about, having more space at the event, less speakers and more
of an experience. We really want people to have that opportunity to go deep with each other. And so I changed a lot of the run of show for 2026, just to kind of incorporate that feedback that I got. I'm like, what do you want more of? Well, we want more connection. Okay, I can do that.
Surprise.
And it was definitely great. And some of the best for me, I always love the networking, or where we go around the tables and get to meet other people. And I always wish, I know it's usually an evening event, so you can only do so much because you have to sleep. But it's like, I could do that for, till I hit everybody. That would be really cool to meet everyone. And then just a lot of the, the evening events, it is a full day. If you come to the Soulful Leadership, you'll probably want to take a couple days off the following week to rest and recover, because it is definitely busy. But the evening events, the sound bath, and this year, the whole integration with, it was that circle. And I still love that line where we interviewed the author of a song, but the line was something about, we love circles because circles don't take sides, or circles have no sides, or something like that. What a great line. So
that was a great line with Bob Seema. And then again, the first night was all about connecting and having those, getting to meet each other. And then the second day, after 2 full days, we wanted to have more of a integration. So again, we started with a little bit of movement and then moved into the sound bath.
So besides the timing, do you have any big plans for next year to change? Anything different that we could look forward to?
I am not sure yet, but I do know there will be more experience, because that's what people want. They really want the connection. So we want to incorporate more of that.
I have two.
It is because the days are full. The days are very full. So
I have 2 surprises.
Yes. Oh, surprises. Here we go.
So one is that one of the main ways that we fill the event is through our partners, through our MetaMind members bringing people, and then we have our JV panel on day 3.
Right.
Our top 5 partners. And so there seems to be a lot of competition brewing already for people that want to refer people. And our event is 2 weeks after the Marketers Cruise, and many people that are on. We have like probably 10 people that are coming from there. The only way you get stage time on the Marketers Cruise is by referring people. So they're kind of already in that mentality of let's bring our friends.
Right.
And that brings like, and so that's the whole thing for me, is like to be able to go from 150 to 200 people, all still very high vibe, people that are experienced and can contribute, because that's really what we want to make sure, is that everybody there is to contribute to each other. So that's one of the big surprises for me, is hearing about some of the people that are already eager to promote it. One of the other ones is last year, one of our favorite takeaways that people have shared with us was about Dr. Brent Ridge. He was the founder. Him and his husband Josh founded Beekman,
Right.
a $150 million business that came out of the recession in 2008. He's coming back. Him and Josh they've already got it on their calendars to talk about being in business together and what it's like to create a life, a business, and a community built on kindness.
Oh, well, that'll be really exciting. That'll be very interesting. Yeah, some of the speakers were, very interesting. The people that's why I always love getting to, some of the people I've heard last year, or I've known them before, but I loved hearing the new people that I wasn't familiar with. So that was really cool. So
you in the room, that's what I love about it. I love, again, thank you for being there. And I know it takes a lot. And as you know, when you host these live events, when people show up, that means they're committed.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I love you talked about people, the hybrid. I think this definitely needs to be a live event, because the hugs are as important as, and that contact that you just, no matter how good Zoom is or hybrid events and doing stuff online, you just can't get a hug online. You can't share a meal online. I mean, you may be eating it, but you can't taste, you can't taste this. You can't do that kind of stuff. And I think that human connection is what's so important, I guess, yes, our souls can connect through the airwaves, but not the same as in person.
We already do so much online. There's so many opportunities for us to connect. We host 2 networking calls every month. We host our MetaMind calls, but coming together in person, especially now in the age of AI and technology, experiences like what you do, like bringing people together in person, this is what's going to set us apart from everybody else. You and anybody else who's bringing people together face to face.
Yeah. AI can't do that. I mean, I'd be really interesting, a robot convention. I'd love to, just everybody sends their AI robot and it just wouldn't have the same energy. So no.
They were talking that in 2021, they had the whole, VR conferences with hundreds of people. And we thought that was the future, that we're all going to be meeting there. And I'm happy to say I don't think that's it.
No, I haven't traveled since Soulful Leadership, and it's probably the longest I haven't traveled in the last year. And I thinking to myself, God, I miss people, and I see people, but just not a lot of people. I haven't been in big crowds. I see my family and friends, but not not 50 people at a time. And it's kind of I really miss being around all those people and just that energy. So I think that's really important to keep that.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that's really cool about Soulful Leadership is the people that come, they are all connected and they are all, heartfelt, really lead from their heart. They're amazing people. They want to help. The world is important to them. How do you keep that kind of person? Is it just naturally happen because that's who comes and they invite their friends, or is it the average? How? You've done a great job of that. And what's your secret? Because I know people have tried that, and even in retreats sometimes when there's usually that one person that comes and you're like, oh, how did they get in? So
yeah, I think it was Sherry that called that one person a PETA. I was like, I'd never heard of a PETA, the one pain in the arse.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Mona Doss has it saying that if you can't figure out who that person is, it might be you. So
that's good. That's good. And we have been really blessed that every year there's not been that PETA. And a lot of it, this event started with Mark reaching out to his community, his friends, his colleagues, And so we started there, and then they invited their colleagues. So, that circle, it just, yeah.
Mhm.
So the referrals and where they're all coming from, you wouldn't expect to have any of those PITAs.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
also, a big part of it, like you again leading live retreats, it is about setting the container, and that's something that we start off every event with a set of agreements that we are in this container together, and that we're here to contribute, and that this is a safe space. And if you're not safe, to let us know, because that is one of the most important things right now. That's one of the things about live events, is that trust is the new currency, and you need to be able to have that in that space.
Mhm. Yeah, no, yeah. So maybe maybe it is a whole lot of setting the container and then positive peer pressure that there maybe that PETA is there, but they've got it under control for 4 days because they're there. So
We got the heart-led army out there, like, don't be all dark on us now.
that's how we don't do that here. So
That's a big part of it. Like when you go to events, and I know people that go and they're like, I don't want to go to an event if I can't leave with $20,000 in sales. And it's going to cost me $2,000 to go there, be there, and everything else. But if you build relationships and you can sell through those relationships, that works out to, I think, much more profitable than just going there to find clients.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's funny because I actually got a client at this year's event without trying, no effort. I wasn't planning on it. I didn't even, it was like, it just happened. So it's kind of cool, but it was like, oh, well, that was nice. I kind of covered, more than my cost and such, but it happened because it's just, you interact with someone and they're like, oh, I like you, do this. I'd love to work with you. And I think that's so much.
When you go to dating and you're looking for something, you repel people. But when you just show up in service, you're like, oh, I want to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
Yeah. So I think that's really valuable. So, we have a few minutes left, and I would love to have you just, share really share whatever you'd like, the message, each of you to take a few minutes and share what you'd like to share with the audience. So knowing that I'm guessing you're going to keep doing this once a year as long as it's successful. Feel free to share. I know you have your MetaMind Mastermind too, so feel free. Basically, you've got about 2 minutes each to share whatever you'd like to our audience to know. So.
Awesome. So, the Soulful Leadership, we've talked about it here, about it being a unique container. And really, the room is filled with people who are leading from the place of their heart. And I'm so grateful for the community that we've built. And, and from that comes our MetaMind. So it's just all, and then the JV directories. So I'm just really grateful for what's there, and, just always remember purpose. So I'm not going to take 2 minutes, but lead with purpose.
I love the leading with purpose.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about who this event is for. We talked about how it takes a lot to show up at an event, and sometimes people feel like, oh, I'm not ready. And we even had that in the room this time, where the first day you look around and like, there's all these people that I look up to and I respect. I'm on their mailing lists, and now I'm sitting at a table asking them to promote me or whatever, and I think that when you come from a place of service and alignment, and especially when you're in a place where you're not egos and everybody kind of is more equal, it's more about, do I feel called to show up, and do I feel called to be there? And then one of the things we talk about is that we're all divine beings, and so everybody deserves to be in the room. If you feel called to be there and you're showing up with service, then you deserve to be in the room. And we also talked about the year of the fire horse. This is a year of really getting out there. If you've got a mission, if you're somebody with a message to share, it's about making fast decisions and about being really clear and aligned. And so showing up, whether it's at an event or online or in your business, that's half the battle.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. And I love the idea about the new people there, because it's true. I mean, I do retreats, and I've been doing retreats, but, I had never met Sherry before, Sherry Rosenthal, who is, if I'm here on retreat, she's like, she's probably done thousands, tens of thousands in her life and work, and she's an expert. And it was really cool to meet her and talk to her. And she's nice. She's not, I didn't feel like I was, she wanted to connect, and we learned some stuff. And then it's interesting, when I was listening to her, it's like, oh, well, she says the same stuff I say, so it must be, but yeah, it's definitely a place where you could be, you could be thinking about starting a business and you can fit right in, and you could be the top person in the world and you could fit right in, as long as you come from that place of purpose, that place of service, and, have an open mind. So it is one of the great things, or the people there are, they're just all amazing. I mean, they're all so, you want to sit and talk to everybody, and unfortunately you run out of time, but
that is one of the other changes that we made. We used to have sponsors during lunch because that covers a big part of the cost of the event. But one of the feedback that I've seen just from having sponsors at lunch, where you're in the middle of talking, and then you need to stop talking so that you can listen to wonderful, beautiful, good stuff, but it's interrupting that connection. So that was another feedback.
That was something, that I changed and that will continue, because there's having that opportunity. I enjoyed it. Like, I was so excited to get and sit with the community and get to know people, like, and where there wasn't, a speaker, and I just got to focus on the conversation. It was so great.
Yeah, I think people really like that. Although I have to say, I loved eating upstairs. If you can get the upstairs for lunch next year, although this year it may not have been as nice because it was cold. Last year it was beautiful. So sitting outside in the sun. This year they probably would have had the doors closed because it was a little chilly. So,
but it's a week later too next year. So I think the weather's going to be really nice.
It'll be warmer, great. Yeah. So yeah, even though
there on Sunday, so we have that special JV collaboration
and we're moving that to upstairs in the restaurant to give it
that'll be cool.
Different vibe for Sunday. So that's a change too that's coming.
Yeah, and people don't have to rush because there's no Super Bowl or anything after, so that'll be kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Well, Renee and Mark, thank you so much for this, and I'm excited. I'm going to share the rest of some of the footage. We've got some people speaking. We've got Mark and Renee's daughter introducing them on the second day. We've got a lot more stuff about this, and also a really cool little store in the Orlando airport that Sharon Galuza found, and that I checked out and I actually bought these earrings at. So now every time I go to Orlando, I'm going to have to plan to stop at this store. So thank you so much. And thank you for hosting the Soulful Leadership event, the Soulful Leadership, now known as the Soulful Leadership Retreat, which will have a new name coming. But if you have not been, definitely consider it next year, mid-February, the week after the Super Bowl, because it will be an event you will enjoy, especially if you're someone who, if you're listening to this, you probably are an extraordinary person, heart-centered, want to change the world. And this is the right venue for you and the right place for you to go. So thank you both.
Another great chance to meet Lori and hang out.
That's right.
While she's not working.
Wow. It'll be great. So, all right, everybody. Well, thank you so much, both of you, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Do you want more impact? Do you want more income in your life? And do you want more fun? If you answered yes to all these questions, a retreat can be the answer for you. A retreat can be amazing. Imagine that you're selling your offer before you even made it. Like my client, Amy. Amy attended one of my retreats and she got 3 new clients without even trying to sell anything, just by getting to know people. That's the magic that a retreat could bring. And a retreat doesn't have to be hard. I have a program called Done For You Retreats. We can do a retreat just for you. I can connect you with partners and we can do collaborative retreats. You can host your own retreat. I can help facilitate. There's so many ways to make a retreat work. And the best way to do that is to book a call and to find out how a retreat can work for you. So if you're interested, if you've ever thought about hosting a retreat, if you've attended retreats and you're wondering what's next, if you have a community and you want a way to get more impact, more income, a better experience, a retreat might be the best option. So I'm Lori McDowell, founder of Reimagine You Strategies and the Done For You, Run For Your Retreat program. And we can make your retreat fun, easy, effortless, and profitable. So book a call, book Lori, LORI.net. Book a call, booklori.net, and let's discuss how you can make your retreat profitable, impactful, and a lot of fun. Have a fantastic day.
So one of the things that we had before COVID was the Florida Fun family. I had started blogging. This was like, what, 2017 something? And like I was blogging because we like to have fun. I don't know, if you follow Mark on Facebook, you see all the family fun. Although now we don't post as much because they're older and you know how teenagers are. But yeah, so like we always like to have fun. So thanks for letting us have a little fun with our family this morning.
That was two of the things we talk about, having fun and integrating family into what we do. So this is a big part of our experience. Thank you. So we want to do a couple things. We want to start with a debrief.
Yes.
Okay. Yesterday was all about building. Day one was about connecting to who we are at soul level. And then yesterday was really about connecting to why we're here. What is our soul purpose, and being able to share with each other the transformations that we provide for our clients. We did a little bit of masterminding. We're going to do a lot more of that today. We're going to actually have a full mastermind, so we do want to have everybody back after the break, right?
It's after the break.
Right after the break. So please make your breaks short and sweet and get back into the room so that you can experience the full mastermind this afternoon.
Morning.
Yes, this morning. After the break. Still keeping straight.
Forever, Marjorie.
Okay. So one of the things we did last night, we had an amazing experience. How many people were at the Groovy Transformation Experience? How was it? And we heard a lot of things individually throughout the day, some of the takeaways. We do still have Chris in the back. If you want to share a testimonial, we'd love to hear that on film so we can record it. But also we'd love to hear it in the room. If there were things that came up for you over the evening, if there were unexpected surprises or synchronicities that happened, but also if there were things inside of you that were confused or other issues coming up. That's very, very common. And especially after 3 days, a lot of high energy. We just want to be able to feel like we're all here to support each other. So, and also to celebrate some of the wins. I've heard some amazing wins over the last 3 days. So we want to give you this opportunity to share some of your breakthroughs, breakdowns, or partnership, JV partnership, collaboration. It's usually the wrong people for the wrong reasons. Nancy has a message about be your own wizard. Don't look for an outside influencer to make or break your success.
So, quick show of hands. How many of you have at least one collaboration you'd like to forget about? Okay, so I'm not alone in this. All right, great. Well, today we're going to talk about collaborations that work. So, let's start with the 4 levels of collaboration. Level 1, we have our quick wins, the one-off promos, the list swaps, the easy yes. They're the fast transactional. There's nothing wrong with this level. The problem that's wrong is if you expect more than it just being a transactional relationship there. So, David, I'm sorry to do this to you. Do you have a mic? Oh, fantastic. We would love to take a few shares right now. What's one thing you like about simple quick win collaborations? If anyone wants to share quickly something they like about that. There's a great thing. You got it.
So it's no. Is it? Yes. Okay. Kimberly Whitecamp. So the thing I love about the quick win collaboration is if you're not entirely sure if your 2 lists are interested in your mutual offers, it's a great way to test without burning out your list and doing a big commitment. It's like, let's just see if we have a good synergy, and then one-off, neither of us are expecting huge results, but we can find out if we should continue the conversation or not.
And Kim, what's a good example that you use as a one-off?
So I have a couple times a week, I do like a newsletter style blurb. So I'll share a story, I'll share something powerful or valuable, and then at the end I'll say, and choose your own adventure, which one of these is most relevant for you right now. So I'm always looking for evergreen content to put into my own. And I'm like, hey, do you have something that's like the lead magnet or not time-based that I can share? Happy to share and find out if my audience is interested in what you do. So it's really easy, and it's actually strangely hard to find content for. I'm always like, who's got something to share? And I was like, no, I got something time-based.
That's great. Yeah, lead magnet swap, and you actually take the lead magnet and you create a story in your newsletter out of it. So
Yes.
that's beautiful.
Soulful Leadership Retreat MVP Award. So this year we're happy to present it to Michael and Krista Neely. And let me do their formal introductions and bring them to the stage. Please welcome Michael Neely and Krista Neely, visionary creators, experienced designers, and partners in life and business. Together, they are the founders of The Game, a bold, transformational framework that helps people design their life, relationships, and work with clarity, alignment, and intention. And the creators of the New Media Cruise, a one-of-a-kind immersive experience that brings creators, leaders, and visionaries together for connection, expansion, and next-level growth. Known for blending strategy, consciousness, and real-world play, Michael and Krista don't just teach ideas, they live them. Their work invites people to stop playing by default and start playing life on purpose. This is what winning looks like.
Welcome, Krista. Our JV most valuable partners.
Who wants to play a game? All right, everybody likes playing games. This is the thing. You're already playing. We've all been playing. You've been playing before you showed up. You've been playing while you're here. You'll be playing tomorrow. And that is the reality that we're all playing a game. It's the game of life. And you are the creator. Life is indeed a game when we realize that. And the true challenge, though, is what is the game you're playing? Are you playing a game that you inherited? Are you playing a game that someone else told you to play? And the reality is this: if there's anything in your life that is out of alignment, if it's your relationship, if it's your business, if it's your health and wellness, it all boils down to one simple thing. You're playing the wrong game.
So I wanted you to just think for a moment and just kind of get your buy-in. How does that feel when you think of life as a game? All right, yeah, so a lot of us like, yes, it creates it's play. It's playful because we can either take it seriously or not. We can make everything mean everything or mean nothing. We have the ability to tap into what that is. So for the next few minutes, we want to invite you to look at your life as a game and see how you can play it to the very best of your ability. Are you willing to do that?
Yeah. Willing?
Okay. Are you sure? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we want to look at where you play the wrong game, and so we're going to give you some samples of that, and Chris is going to share her own story here.
So the moment I became a single mom, meaning the day I was leaving the house to go into our condo for myself and my two kids, I got let go of the job that I chose that I thought would give me financial stability to make that big choice. So that took me down to ground zero, and I began creating this game of hustle, right? there's hustle, there's panic, and I began playing the game of just getting by. So I could get it like down to the T. Every month I was like, look at that, look how good I am. I just got enough to pay the bills. And I realized that I wanted more, my goal was for more, but I was playing the game of just getting by.
How many of y'all have played that game before? Yeah, the game of just getting by. Or how about the game of, I'm going to work really hard for a payday someday. This will pay off someday down the road. Y'all play that game before? And as an example, if you don't mind me sharing, that yesterday when you stood up and shared about that fact of who's played the game of, my company brings in money, but I never seem to have enough cash. okay? So these are some of the games that we play, and we get caught in it, not knowingly, but it just ends up being the thing that we start playing, we start getting good at it, and we never stop to look at it.
Even when the goal says something else, so you want to manifest this, or you've got the vision board this, it's what you're doing. The game you're playing is what's actually happening. It's the little, you're on the board there. And so that's this reframe we want you to look at is, oh, geez, what game am I actually playing? And there's a reward in there somewhere.
Yeah. And every game that you play, there are rules. And some of these rules were handed down to you that may not be your rules or rules that you want to play by, but you keep living by them. So how many of you had parents who would say stuff like, what do I look like, a bank? Money doesn't grow on trees, all of these things. And the reality is, hey, come on, money's made out of paper and paper's made out of trees. So, but we get handed all of these rules. And it may not be the rule that we want to play by.
Oh my God, there's so many rules. Like get the job, do the corporate thing, work hard for your money. I mean, you've got them, right? Everybody think of at least like probably 5 are running through your head right now, right? Raise your hand if you can identify a rule that you're playing that you know isn't yours.
Yeah, great.
So how do you win at a game that you don't even have the right rules to?
Yeah. And so as we move, we're just going to kind of download a bunch of stuff about the game with you guys today, because we feel like having this as a framework, you can start to make a shift in your lives. And so beyond the game, there are roles that we play. So in any game, there are roles. And the roles are somewhat immutable. Each of us, when we were born, we took on the role of son or daughter. And if you grew up and got married, you took on the role of spouse, partner. And if you have children, you took on the role of mother, father. Those are just the roles. Roles are neutral, if you will. And sometimes we're in a role for a while and then we're no longer in that role. If you're divorced, you might have been in the role of spouse and now you're not in that role anymore. So that's roles. But how we inhabit those roles, how we play those roles is...
This is where it gets interesting. Your character is what's wrapped around the role. So your character is how you're playing it. It can be anything from the perfectionist. Do we have any perfectionist business owners in here? Do we have those who play the victim, the needy wife, the I'm always right? How about the I'm so busy? I'm so busy business person.
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed with my busyness, and I'm so important, and I'm so this, and I'm so that. Those are the characters, and the characters can come and go. And we're not going to get into it, but it gets really interesting when you have a character and you're over here in business world, and then that character kind of shows up at home, and you're like, ooh, my bossy girl bitch just showed up at home. That's not going to go well. So we play in the game all these rich and interesting ways of how your characters are showing up, and sometimes it helps, and sometimes it is absolutely not helpful. Can you all identify a character in yourself that is just not helpful?
The way you play one of your roles, and here's the reality, sometimes the way you play a role is good, okay? If you're like an overachiever CEO, you can be very proud of the fact that, man, I get shit done, okay? And at some point, you may find that that character, the way you're playing the role, the character no longer serves you. If you're dissatisfied in any area, start to look at, my recommendation is start to look at how am I playing this role? And how would I rather play the role? But here's the challenge. You can't really change that from the character, okay? I'm going to put this in terms of maybe you all can understand and grasp. How many of you have some form of a SaaS platform that you use in your business? We probably all use some form of SaaS, okay? And within our SaaS platforms, if you've got a team, you can assign user responsibilities to your team, but you have admin responsibility, right? You get the big control. Well, the reality is our character that we play in a role, they don't get admin access. They get user access. If you want to change the game, you need to move into your admin role, which is you as the player. Think of your player as your bigger self, your consciousness that is watching from above and observing the game. Have you ever felt like that? Like you could kind of go out of yourself a little bit and watch yourself? Like I could pull back and go, hey, Michael's here on stage performing the role of a CEO and entrepreneur, and he's adjusting his jacket and he feels a little sweaty up here, and my observer can witness all that Not necessarily articulating it, but that's my player. And then from that space, you can choose how do you want to play going forward.
Hi, everyone. We're here at the Soulful Leadership Retreat. You've had a chance to hear from Mark and Renee, see what we do in the room, hear a little bit from Michael and Krista. And I'm here with this amazing person that I met just last night. This is Bob Sima. Is that how you pronounce it? Sima. Bob Sima. Bob does a lot of things, but he's a composer. And last night we had this incredible experience where we did a sound bath and a groove. And after the event, two of the most amazing songs there I found out were Bob's songs. So Bob, tell us a little bit about you, what you do.
Well, I'm a transformational singer-songwriter, which means that the music is really intentionally written for transformation. Not that all music isn't on some level transformational, but mine is really clearly intended to be that way. So, I travel all over the world playing at events like this, doing concerts. We lead retreats as well, and the music is kind of the center of it. And I also have a program called The Song of Your Soul. And every soul has a song, let's write yours. That's the tagline. And the idea is that I work with people one-on-one and write the song of their soul.
Oh my goodness, that's so beautiful. So how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this, about 20 years, full-time about 10. I was in the corporate world for many years and finally let go of that, safety net and been flying free for about 12 years.
Okay, so Bob had a song. We played two of your songs last night. What were the names of them? Yeah,
well, the first one was called Metta, and Metta, METTA, is a Buddhist prayer. And may you be well. It's the prayer of loving kindness, and it's words, but it's a transmission that you send out. So I put it into a song. May you be well. The chorus is, may you be well, may you be happy, may you be peaceful, may you be loved. So that was the first song while we were all laying down in Shavasana. And then the second song was, we created a big circle in the room, 150 people in a big circle, and it's called Together We Rise. And the chorus says, together we rise, together we thrive. We believe in circles because circles take no sides.
And I get goosebumps when I hear that line. We believe in circles because circles take no sides.
Yeah, I think I heard that somewhere. It's just, I'm not sure if I wrote that.
You can take credit for it. I think it's yours.
I put it into the song, but I did see it probably somewhere.
What an incredible, beautiful message, especially something the world needs right now.
100%, 1,000%.
Yeah. So have you always been transformational songwriter, or did you, I see you play guitar.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, it didn't really I didn't step fully into it until the last probably 10 years, maybe the last 5 or 6 albums. But you know what? It's always been there, but I didn't know what to do with it. My first song I ever wrote was from Wayne Dyer, said, "Don't die with your music in you." And it was about this idea of that we have this gift and don't die with it still inside of you. So that was the first song I ever wrote. That was in 2006. Is that a transformational song? Yes. Did I have other songs that were kind of just fun songs and had a little bit of meaning? Yes. But really intentionally, the last probably 6 or 7 albums, straight out all right, I got a message here and I want to deliver it. And now they're not preachy or they're not trying to, convince or anything, but there's this transmission that comes through me in these songs. And so probably I'd say I've always been doing it, but probably really intentionally the last 12 years. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. And they're all beautiful. I mean,
Thank you.
It's not just, I've heard some people that try to, they get a great message and they put a song in and it's kind of lacking the actual music. Your songs are very beautiful, catchy.
Thank you.
And you write custom songs as well. So if someone wants a song for an event, or a retreat, or you will actually write the songs.
Right. Yeah. So that song "Together We Rise" was written for a book. It was a collaborative book, and the book was called Soulful Leadership. So, they gave me enough information about what the book was about that I wrote the song for that book. I mean, I've written songs for brands, for people who have a coaching business and they want an anthem, to go with their, and I've written songs for movies and, documentaries and families. I'll write a song for a family for their legacy. I'll write a song for someone in hospice, someone going through a struggle, that's the song of your soul part. But yeah, it's custom songs is probably the way to say it.
What a
But all
cool
these different
concept.
applications, yeah, it is a cool concept. Yeah.
I never knew that existed. I know people, you can go on now. There's AI, you can write songs. Even with that, I'm not talented enough.
Well, that one I'm not sure about. But,
yeah, but
I mean, it's really cool. I mean, it's cool that we have these technologies, but I encourage people to write, to find somebody like me that can help you. I mean, I don't just write every song all out, full out when I have a client. Sometimes I just let them guide me. If they want to write the lyrics, I'll help them shape it so it'll be a really good song. But everybody has a song in them, whether I can extract it from you or you can, together we can extract it from you.
So it's a collaborative process potentially where you're not just, I tell you this and you give me a song. You kind of.
Right. Well, some of them are like that. They're just like, I don't want to lift it. I need to just write me your song,
do it
work
for
your
me.
magic, and which is fine because I do. It's a superpower that I have. So, but I also like open the door to say, do you want this to be collaborative? Do you want to do it together? And I'll hold your hand. And next thing you know, they're like, wow, I wrote this song. I'm like, sure, of course you did.
Yeah,
we co-wrote it.
Right, we can say that.
We co-wrote it.
And you said you had like, what did you say, 7 or 8 albums? How many albums?
I'm working on number 11.
Wow.
10 albums that are out right now.
And can we find this music where would someone find your albums?
Well, if you put in Bob Sima, S-I-M-A, into any browser, you'll get all the things. But it's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, it's on Amazon Music, it's on iTunes. I mean, just everywhere where you can
if
get
you
music.
haven't, definitely do that because these are so beautiful. We're going to have to talk about a Journeys of Impact, extraordinary places, extraordinary people, extraordinary change song because I think the TV show deserves a song.
Well, when you came up to me, just for the listeners and the viewers, I was immediately struck by your the intensity of what you're trying to do. Like, and when you said the extraordinary impact, is that the 2 words?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like, let's sit down and talk. And I could already feel like a song coming through.
Well, it's kind of, I love the fact that you're saying the songs are inside of you and coming through you because one of my beliefs is that, we all already have, whether it's the collective soul, the higher power, just our own soul, everything we have is already inside of it. And some people choose to look for it and let it out, and other people ignore it. And really, when you create that extraordinary life, it's when you're letting it out. And it's funny because I meet so many people who've been doing personal growth for 20, 30, 50 years. I was a chemical engineer. I worked in corporate. My personal growth was very superficial for most of my life. And then when I got fired from my job, I wrote a book. And it was funny. The book just kind of came through me. It wasn't like I studied it. I just wrote what came out. And as I realized that everything I wrote were like these, gurus were already saying, and I didn't know it kind of in a way, but it's inside all of us. So, and you're just putting that to music. It sounds like.
I am. And I was the same way. I'm not trained as a musician at all. I don't read music, and it's in me. It gets activated when you open yourself up to it. And I really firmly believe what you're saying is that we all have, like many of the spiritual masters says, you can do this too.
Yeah,
and it's in you.
It's in you already.
It's already there. You just need to let it out.
Yeah, no, I love that. And you talked about song lyrics. It's funny because sometimes I'll listen to a song from the 40s or the 50s or the 60s, and the words, it's like, wow, like those words are really smart. So I think a lot of music already does have the message. Artists put it there without even knowing they're being so profound, but they put these, all we need is love. Like that's a very simple message. But
as I said, I don't want to tout and I'm the transformational art, but there's an intention behind it, and I think most people write music.
We're recording. No problem.
Yeah.
Can you wait 2 minutes? Sorry. I can edit that. Yeah, we'll cut
So I know that I know that almost every songwriter out there has some sort of transformational journey, so that comes out in their song.
Right.
But some of it's just fun, and people like to write a poppy song, and they like to be funny and clever and get a good beat, and it's entertaining. So music can be so many different things. All of it's transformational on some level, I think.
Yeah. So of all the songs you've written, do you have a favorite?
I mean, my current favorite song, I do have one that I mean, I have a song called "No Mud, No Lotus," and it was written from a phrase from a Vietnamese monk, Thich Nhat Hanh, and I saw the phrase somewhere, and I said, "Wow, no mud, no lotus. What a beautiful statement!" And I wrote it into the song, and I just can't get through a concert without. I mean, people ask for it because it's probably one of my most popular songs, but I love that song, and I live it every single day. Haven't you noticed the patterns of the pain in your past? I keep my shadows in front of me. I keep them out there so I know, don't repeat that. Yeah, oh, it's coming up again. Don't repeat that.
That's
Everything you
beautiful.
go through grows you, but the key word is through, not around.
Not around, yeah,
Yeah.
you're not over, but through it. I
Yeah,
love
so that's
that.
probably my favorite song.
I'll have to check that one out because I love, I pick cards all the time. And when I get the lotus, it's always one of my favorites because it talks about how, the flower blooms for such a short time, but yet it comes from this mud and yuck. So,
Well, the funny thing is I have an oracle deck of cards that goes with my music. When you said I pull a card,
I'm going to have to look into
they're all
that.
sold out right now, but I would encourage, if anybody's interested, just go to bobsima.com, BOBSIMA, and you can sign up for to be on the list for when they come out again. We're publishing a new deck. 52 cards. You pull a card, and that's your word for the day. There's a word on the front. You flip it over, you read a little teaching, a little reminder.
Does it have a song to go with it?
And then it has the song. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's
So,
amazing. I'm
yeah.
going to have to get that one.
When you said pull a card, I'm like, I should tell everyone
everybody,
about
yeah.
that.
So, have you enjoyed, this is your first time here. Have you enjoyed the event?
This event is, I am almost speechless. I mean, I was one of those like, well, I'll go check it out. I played here the first year. I got up played a concert, and I didn't stay. I had to go somewhere else after that. It was, 50 or 60 people, but this was a packed room full of people. And you want to just pause? And
Yeah, go ahead. We can pause and cut it out.
Yeah.
No problem. Yeah, we can edit. Okay, so you played here, you were saying?
Yeah, so this event, I was at the first one in 2019 or some 20, right?
Like 8 years ago or something.
Yeah, it was a while ago, and maybe it wasn't the first one, and I didn't participate. I got up did a concert, and then I just circled back around with Mark, and I'd been staying in touch with him, and there was some. I look at the website and I see like hype, like, oh, there's so much wealth in this room and all these things. It is so true. I mean, there is no hype about this event. It is the connections that you make with people are real. You feel like nobody's really trying to like sell you. They're just like, hey, how can I help you? Well, how can I help you? It was absolutely probably the best event I've been to in 10 years.
Wow. Yeah, no, it is. We did a little mini mastermind today, and somebody at my table, like, basically in 2 sentences said something that's going to change my next year. And I was like, oh, wow, that was like, and I didn't see it. It was, it wasn't obvious to me, but to him, it was like, this is what, I was like, you're right, and it was like, so yeah, and the people are so kind and so, like last night's event was amazing. I mean, I came in thinking like, oh, I just want to go take a nap. And when I left, I was, I couldn't get to sleep because I had so much energy. So one more thing, you had talked a little bit about a retreat you have coming, and I love the name of it. And as a retreat person, I'll share a little bit about your retreat.
Oh, well, it's myself and my wife, we have a nonprofit. It's called Where the Light Gets In. So you can find that website, wherethelightgetsin.us. And the retreat's called Boldly Going Nowhere. And it sounds almost like kitschy, like, oh, forget that, I want to go somewhere. But if you break down the words, boldly going nowhere is now here. If you put a little break in that word, nowhere is now here.
Now here.
So it's about presence, boldly. I mean, it takes work to turn off your phone.
To not do anything.
To not do anything, to go into the stillness, into the silence, and not even try to think, not even try to create.
Right, just be.
Don't even give me a list of the 10 things you want to burn off.
No, let's just be.
Yeah, just be. So that's what it's about. It's in March. It's I don't know when this is going to air, but we do a lot of retreats, so you can stay in touch with us.
Another thing we have in common, so we're going to have to talk about that.
Yeah, I want to hear about yours. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. You talk about just be. I did a retreat in Honduras, Utila, last December, And one of the things, it was called Plunge into Possibilities, and it was about being what's possible. But one of the things we did, we offered people scuba diving. If they wanted to try it, they could do it. If they wanted to, if they were certified, they could dive. And just go underwater and just be and just experience life, what's possible. Because here you are living in an alien environment that you're not meant to be, and it kind of opened up your mind. So, but you were talking about, when you were talking about boldly going, I have a friend who owns a restaurant bar, and their I always loved their slogan was the place is called La Buena Vida, but their slogan was always Carpe Mañana. So it's like, seize tomorrow.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, so it reminded me of that.
When you talk about songs and intentionality, I discovered this recently. We were on a road trip or something, and we're listening to music, and the song from Fleetwood Mac came on, don't stop thinking about tomorrow. And I'm like, we've been singing that for what, 30 years? Wait, we're supposed to live for today, not tomorrow. Right, yeah. I love that song. I love them. They're rock gods. But I mean, honestly, it's about today. Right. It's about this moment. It's about now.
Well, thank you, Bob, so much. I'm so glad we got to meet each other, and we'll definitely be in touch. And everybody, check out bobsima.com, SIMA.com. Get the music, get the cards when they're available. I'm going to be doing that. And if you want a song, your soul song, a song for your event, they're all amazing. So
reach out.
And don't forget, give me the exact circle phrase.
We believe in circles. Circles take no sides.
Oh, just take that with you. Thank you. Well, the Soulful Leadership Retreat is a wrap, and I'm at the airport. But we always love hidden gems. And Sharon, my friend, talked about this incredible store at the Orlando airport, outside security, called Naturally Inspired. They have the coolest jewelry. Every time she wears it, everybody loves it. So I am happy to check it out. So if you're in the Orlando airport, stop by Naturally Inspired. They have really cool stuff. They're outside security at the main terminal, right past the food court.
As this journey comes to a close, remember, impact isn't found in grand gestures alone. It lives in the conversations we start, the connections we make, and the courage we choose along the way. Today's episode is proof that extraordinary people can create extraordinary change in extraordinary places. And often, it starts closer to home than we ever imagined. So wherever your journey takes you next, lead with purpose, stay curious, and don't underestimate the power of one bold step or one meaningful ripple. If you loved what you heard, please take a moment to like, share, and follow. It's the best way to stay connected and be the first to know when new episodes drop. Until next time, keep moving forward, because the world is waiting for what